million more Epstein files just got released. What kind of stuff did you guys find, and how did you react to it? TIL Robin Leach murdered a child with his bare hands. So now what? I mean, is anything going to happen? This is arguably the biggest scandal in decades and just nothing. What the fuck are we doing in this country? I don't give a fuck if you're a MAGA or liberal. Can we at least agree on something? This seems like a good starting point. That a police chief tried to take him down for his interest in minors in 2006, and no one else saw the signs or chose to believe the victims. I don't get how we can expect people to continue playing by the rules if there are no repercussions for these villains, and those that enable them. Dozens, even scores of people should have been indicted, convicted, and sentenced for this shit. It's unbelievable that this has been swept under the rug for a decade or more. It is pretty awful how many terrible things are mentioned, and the depth of people involved. I think we will see more unrest, and the gap between elite and common man will just grow further and further apart. I feel it is only a matter of time until society reaches a breaking point. I don't know how we can trust anyone in positions of power anymore. These really are wild and insane times. Should be treated like a 9/11 commission, except you cannot be on the commission if you are named in the documents. It is insane. It is not just a pedo ring involving all the most powerful people in the US, but there is literal proof of trillions of dollars of market manipulation in the stock market. Shit even involves GameStop. Elmao. What the fuck kind of bullshit country do we fucking fund with our tax dollars? I don't know how much longer I can go without revolution, TBH. Can the pedo all just be arrested already? I don't care who right, left. I don't know. I feel like 9 months from now they be 50 Reddit posts about how 1 trillion more pages of the Epstein files have been released, and nothing will have happened. Trump everywhere. Elon up at 6 a.m. on Christmas asking Jeff if he has any parties planned so he can let loose. 2012. Howard Lutnick telling Jeff about his 8 kids and their ages. 2012. Jeffrey Epstein was first arrested in 2008 following an investigation that began in 2005 into allegations of sexual abuse against minors in Palm Beach, Florida. Yup, you read those dates right. Trump's new Fed chair. Pusha T, Jay-Z, Bill Gates. No Bernie Sanders. No Kamala Harris, Joe Biden. File F01683591 exactly matches Katie Johnson's story. It is wild people spent years claiming the entire government was composed of pedophilic elite, only to vote in a government entirely composed of the pedophilic elite. All I know is I don't care if it destroys the world. All those sick rich fucks deserve life in prison and worse. There is nothing more disgusting than crimes against children. How can we allow the perpetrators to be richer than rich and just live their best lives destroying our country for fun after what they've done? I wish them the worst. I keep saying to myself this can't be real. This is like something you read in a horror book, and then I think about how books have to take inspiration from somewhere. It just makes me incredibly effing sad and I feel completely powerless. So much has been discovered and surfaced, and yet nothing is done and the elite continue to be untouchable. It is BS. Bill Gates getting an STD and asking Epstein for antibiotics he can surreptitiously slip his wife was not on my bingo card. Everything Q said about Democrats was true about Republicans. Grab them by the pussy has an entirely new meaning reading that our President Trump was auctioning off little girls and sticking his fingers inside them to tell the crowd how tight their vaginas were. Fuck them all. Fuck this shit. I can I have 3 daughters and this is angering me to the point it is affecting my health. Seekong hate these PPL to my core. We shouldn't allow billionaires anymore. It has too much money for them to ever spend, and it turns people into dangerous sociopaths. New World Law: all money you make after $500 million goes to public services, parks, and welfare programs. Honestly, I've been a moderate conservative for most of my life. After seeing all of the stuff going on over the past few months, I'm just done with it all. I mean, what we see is that there is an elite class both sides, most people that does whatever the fuck they want while normal people are just screwed at literally every turn. We can't afford a house. We can barely keep our heads on straight. Huge capital firms are buying every house in our area and renting them for ungodly amounts of money. Our insurance between my employer and myself. Because I see the numbers is $28K a year for a family of 4, and our healthcare sucks. This isn't a right versus left thing. This is an everybody on the bottom, white, black, gay, straight, Whatever you are, against a small group of people consolidating everything. I'm starting to think we need to burn the whole thing down, but we have to be very careful in what we replace it with. That's always the danger. Right and left seriously need to come together at this time. Stop deporting. Stop pushing against currently insignificant differences, and stop fighting your neighbors. At this point, who you voted for does not matter. We learned today what we already kinda knew. Our entire government propped this up, protected it, and indulged in it. There's no voting our way out of this. This isn't a call for violence or insurrection, but our system is deeply and irreparably broken and rotten, and the most disgusting, vile people imaginable are telling us how to live our lives. Every other difference between Republican and Democrat should seem so small right now. A victim saying she was lured to perform sexual acts at the age of 13 on Trump and Epstein with promise that they would help her modeling career. The claim was recorded 2 years before it became public knowledge that Epstein was using modeling as a sex trafficking front. So a genuine question, as I am from the UK. I feel if this happened here, there would be a huge outcry for the resignation of our PM or parliamentary member, especially with this volume and publicity. Why hasn't anything happened to this kind of level in the US? The head of your country has what seems like a huge amount of testimony from a huge number of sources towards his being a child abuser. This isn't acceptable in any circumstances, so I'm just wondering really. This isn't a political left versus right question. It's more of an attempt to understand why this seems to be brushed under the rug and isn't immediate front page news. At the very least, it's much more clear how the likes of Trump and Epstein and their rich friends really genuinely do not see other humans as people. They see us, all the rest of us, as playthings. And this is doubly so for girls. They have zero sense of humanity for young girls. In the first few hours of this latest drop, I was reading about how Trump forced 14-year-olds to suck his dick, and how one of these poor kids even bit his dick out of protest. These rich fucks were raised thinking they were a separate species from the rest of us. They have no humanity and no regard for anyone but themselves. They see the rest of us a means to get what they want in the world. They hate us. And this much is clear. If we don't stop the rich, then they will get rid of us the second it's convenient to do so. One of the most surprising reveals, despite years of building surveillance infrastructure. Apparently, the FBI has difficulty calling people back if they don't leave their contact information. Isn't there some hilarious irony that the whole QAnon conspiracy constantly pushed the idea that only Trump can expose a global cabal running a child sex trafficking ring? And now he's accidentally doing exactly that. Like this moron thought he could run his campaign hinting and making nods to releasing the Epstein files, knowing full well he's not just in there, but exposes their whole network. And now that he's been pushed into a corner that his Justice Department has to release it, and his incompetent administration can redact his name from some of the heinous crimes he's been accused of and more than likely committed. The fact that there will be defenders for those abusers, rapists, and that there will almost be no consequences for any of them genuinely saddens me. So many victims, little to no justice. Fellow Americans, you aren't angry enough.